Kurds, Armenian Californian gangsters, American vets, Arabs, Iranians, Islamophobes, Russian-backed Assadists, other Kurds, Al-Qaeda. Yes, if you were ISIS in the mid-2010s, you had a lot of enemies, because, let's face it, ISIS sucks. And there was no shortage of people ready to take up arms against you, even if it meant working with people they really didn't get along with and maybe wanted to destroy just as much. But among these groups, there was one that really takes the cake as the sort of surreal fever dream of the era. TQILA. The Queer Insurrection and Liberation Army was a self-declared LGBTQ+ militant group that emerged in the mid-2010s during the Syrian civil war, claiming to fight alongside Kurdish-led forces against the Islamic State. Formed around 2017, TQILA was affiliated with the International Revolutionary People's Guerrilla Forces, or IRPGF, an anarchist collective composed largely of foreign fighters who joined the Kurdish People's Protection Units, or YPG, the armed forces of the Kurdish region of Rojava in northern Syria. TQILA's emergence was met with both admiration and skepticism. Its members stated that they were motivated by ISIS's brutal persecution of LGBT individuals, including high-profile executions of gay men thrown from rooftops. TQILA aimed not only to resist fascism, but to show solidarity with queer people globally and highlight the role of LGBT individuals in revolutionary struggle. In July 2017, the group posted this picture taken in ISIS's capital city, Raqqa, as the battle for the city raged, making them certified legends on Syria Twitter, back when it was good at least. Supporters hailed TQILA as a radical rejection of both Western and Middle Eastern conservatism and, at the time, the sort of alternative far-right version of radical gayness exemplified by guys like Milo Yiannopoulos. They viewed the group as an inspiring example of queer resistance reclaiming agency in one of the world's most dangerous conflict zones. However, TQILA's existence and activities also drew notable criticism and skepticism, and not just from ISIS or the right wing. First, some doubted whether the group was ever truly operating as an independent military force. While TQILA claimed to be engaged in an armed struggle, it didn't take long for people to start noticing the lack of combat footage of the group amid what, at the time, was one of the best documented conflicts in history. Its media presence far outweighed its military footprint. Most of the information about TQILA came from the IRPGF's Twitter, with no verification by independent journalists on the ground. Critics also questioned whether TQILA was a genuine grassroots formation or a media-savvy stunt intended to draw attention to broader leftist causes. The group's stylized imagery and slogans led some to suspect it was more performative than practical, a form of queer anarchist branding more than a cohesive fighting unit. Others worried it could be perceived as Westerners exploiting a brutal war for ideological spectacle, potentially endangering local queer Syrians who did not have the same protections or privilege. As Syrian queer academic Fadi Saleh told Al Jazeera, why anarchists go to a country devastated by war and chaos for years now and say they want to spread anarchism is a bit beyond me. It's not only ridiculous, but also unethical and quite arrogant, because in a country that has been fighting for some sense of stability, peace, and belonging for years, their mission is nothing short of abhorrent. Furthermore, the broader role of international volunteers in the Syrian conflict has been controversial. While foreign fighters have been celebrated in some leftist circles, others argue they sometimes complicated already tense local dynamics or lacked a deep understanding of the region's politics and culture. In this context, TQILA's narrative risked overshadowing the real, often quieter struggles of queer people in the region. What do you think? Was TQILA a real fighting force or just a PR stunt? Was it fighting the good fight or getting in the way of people actually engaged in a struggle against persecution? Personally, I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. The people in the photos could well have been LGBT members of the foreign fighter units in Syria engaged in real combat against ISIS. But was it a real military unit with its fighters all under a single command? I really doubt it. Or, at the very least, I've never seen any evidence to convince me. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, be sure to like and subscribe.